Breaking news right off the top here. 2 Indianapolis Metro police officers have been indicted for their alleged roles in a late-night New Year's Eve confrontation that seriously hurt a man. Good evening to you at 5 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Megan Shen, in for Nicole Griffin. A man who had been sleeping in a rental car in his grandmother's driveway was shot multiple times that night.
Yeah, WRTV's Rachel Wilkerson is here to explain which officers are facing charges and what comes next for them. Rachel.
Mark and Megan, 2 out of the 3 IMPD officers involved in this New Year's Eve shooting have been indicted by a grand jury on 7 charges. Officers Carl Chandler and Alexander Gregory.
He's got a gun right on his lap.
Body camera video from the officers involved in the shooting of Anthony Macklin on December 31st of 2022 was part of the evidence presented to the grand jury. The situation began with the 911 call from Macklin's grandmother after she saw an unfamiliar car sitting in her driveway. It was Macklin. He was sleeping. Officers noticed a visible gun. IMPD says shortly after, Macklin moved and the 3 officers fired their guns around 30 times.
Police! 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 Put your hand!
Macklin was handcuffed and given medical attention. He survived, but says mentally and physically, he's not the same.
My back, I have a bullet that's less than a centimeter away from my spine. Any closer would have paralyzed me. I mean, words can't describe, what I'm going through now.
Friday, a Marion County grand jury indicted Carl Chandler and Alexander Gregory for aggravated battery and 6 other felony charges.
How serious are these charges?
So aggravated battery is a level 3 felony. That's a pretty serious felony. It carries a range of penalty of 3 to 16 years, the presumptive being 9 years.
Have any other IMPD officers ever been charged with a level 3 felony?
Not to my knowledge.
Mears says the IMPD supervisor on scene was not charged.
Just because you're present doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty, and so there has to be an evaluation of what substantive actions did that person take or not take. And in this particular situation, there are no charges being filed against Officer Riley.
Friday's indictment means the criminal cases will now move forward in court. A jury will decide if the officers are guilty without a reasonable doubt.
We just want people to feel like there's a fair and impartial hearing conducted, evaluating the facts in a way that ultimately, hopefully, leads to justice. And so that's always your objective, is how can we lay this out in a way that makes sense to everybody, where everybody feels like they're getting a fair shake and get their day in court.
Macklin's attorney calls the shooting senseless. He's also asking IMPD Police Chief Randall Taylor to suspend both officers that have been indicted without pay and recommends their termination. IMPD says Chief Taylor has placed both officers on administrative leave and will review the internal affairs investigation. This case will also be presented to the Civilian Majority Use of Force Review Board following the criminal process. Megan.